Let me show you something. Mm, mm, mm. Hello, welcome to my channel, 100 Days with Katja. Today is day 26 of building a personal constitution. We just talked about our checkups, like our doctors, interaction with substances, relationship with our body, relationship with food. That was all in our health and wellness section, that what we're in right now. And our last section was routines, and before that it was our grounding articles. But today we'll be talking about our workout routine. It didn't make any sense to have a health and wellness and not include a workout, and I was contemplating whether or not to include a workout routine within the routine section, but ultimately it fit better here. I am not a doctor. I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm not a nutritionist, but let me show you something. Let me show you something. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, this is what you call a muscle mommy. Muscle mommy. And guess what? I'm also starting to get my abs for the first time in forever. I can't show you now because I won't, because I don't want to, but they're coming along, you guys. Okay, so listen to what I have to say. I got a little advice. Okay, I'm good. I'm chill. She likes to show off. Anywho, honestly, you guys, I'm just gonna be showing you guys my workout routine. I'll be telling you guys about my workout routine, things I've included, things I've excluded, things that helped me build my muscle, which also including like food. And I'll try to be very, very broad because there's so much out there and everybody's needs are different. But I thought, why not? We're always all caring about how we look and how our body feels and our physical health. So it only made sense to write down our workout routine, and of course you can always go back and change it, but I would say always give yourself 3 to 6 months staying consistent with one type of routine that you have, and that way you'll be able to better evaluate whether or not your body likes it. That's what, honestly, if you immediately like hate it, like it's awful to you, then of course change it. But if it's just like, I don't know about it, like you're just like contemplating about some things, like stick to it. You'll be able to better evaluate it, and then you can change it, because you don't want to change it too much, because then otherwise you're not going to actually like change anything here. Okay, first things first, of course, nutrition. We talked about our interactions with food in a couple videos ago, so definitely check that out. But regarding like your workout routine, build a muscle, getting lean, getting healthier, for my nutrition, I definitely intaked my protein just a little bit. I talked about in the interaction with food how I started eating fish again because I was initially vegan, but I like to work out a lot, so including fish back into my diet allowed me to not have to like eat so much just to get the minimum protein that I need daily. It helps me retain my muscles, it helps me recover better, and it definitely has been a game changer, and that's one of the reasons why like I'm getting my abs. Super happy about that. So I took a sports nutrition class, oh my goodness, a year ago. And in that class, we learned that the best way to, I don't want to say eat, but let's say the best way to eat is to have high protein meals, but like particularly like in the morning. So like if you are eating 3 meals a day, the meal with the most amount of protein should be breakfast, because breakfast is the first meal of the day. That's when you have all your energy. And usually when you have your larger amount of protein in the morning, you're less likely to snack. You're less likely to crave sugar, which takes away from your muscles, which take away from your gains. And ultimately, like when you feel like you're not eating right, you'll typically like give up on the working out part. So at least it helps you mentally stay disciplined and focused. So of course, protein, highest amount in breakfast, and then you lower it in lunch, and then you lower it even more in dinner. And the way we talked about it and the way I interpret it, and this is how I'm going to tell you guys, is that food is fuel, and we know that. So it doesn't make sense to try to fill up a gas tank full right before you go to bed, right? It doesn't make sense to eat the most food, to eat the most protein, to eat the most energy, because food is energy. It makes sense to do that in the morning for breakfast, because then throughout the day you're using that energy, and then lunch and dinner are like small, like just refueling here and there, but it's not to give you most of your energy for that day. So when you go to bed, you want to go to bed, I don't want to say you don't want to go to bed full, but the best thing for me is going to bed like a little hungry, like not, oh, I need to eat something, but it's like, oh, like I'm good. If I stay up for another 2 hours, I probably get hungry, but if I go to sleep now, I'm good. So that way in the morning you are actually hungry for breakfast. And one of the things that I also learned in my sports nutrition class is that when you go to bed and you eat, and geez, I also want to like debunk like, oh, don't eat after 6, because it's like, yes, but no. So if you go to bed like full stomach, like you just ate and you go to sleep, right? While you're sleeping, your body is digesting the food. And when your body is digesting food, you're actually not sleeping like good. And typically if you don't sleep good, it affects your weight. You hold on to weight more, and you won't be able to eat breakfast, and then it pushes you to have bigger meals and more like filling meals later on the day, thus pushing again to have even bigger meals during dinner. And it's just this awful cycle of not getting the sleep that you need, and then your sleep affecting the way your body what was I trying to say? The way your body like holds on to food, to weight. And that's why, like, if you have a lot of sleeping issues, that you typically have a lot of weight issues. So that's why it's super, super important to have breakfast, and to make sure breakfast is not only your biggest meal, but has the most protein. That was long-winded, and I'm also trying to let you guys know, listen to your body, listen to your doctor, do your own research. But from this class that I took in my undergraduate, for my undergraduate degree, this is what we talked about. And this class was specifically like I said, sports nutrition. But she said a lot of this we can apply to our own lives. And like, you guys, I look like an athlete. Okay. The next thing, of course, is to drink plenty of water. Too many of you guys are dehydrated. You cannot properly do any of your workouts if you're not hydrated. I know for me, during my workouts, I have my water bottle where I put electrolytes. And in my nutrition class, my sports nutrition class, again, we learned that electrolytes are truly beneficial during active movement, while you're playing a sport, while you're working out, versus just like randomly drinking it on like a day that you're resting. So the only time I drink electrolytes is during my workout. It replenishes you, and afterwards, I try to make sure it's like finished before I end my workout, because then afterwards, immediately I eat like a lunch or dinner or breakfast, depending on, of course, when I worked out, and ensure that there's protein in that meal. But like, I'll have like something light, like I'll have like maybe like a little fried shrimp that I'll make at home and like throw it in a salad, versus like for lunch, where it would be particularly a bigger meal, versus like a salad shrimp for dinner, I would have like rice and beans and bread, like a lot of like hearty foods that give me energy and are very filling. Versus at night, where it's like very light and very easy, into where I'm going to bed soon, so I don't need to eat things that have so much, I'm gonna say energy. I don't know the correct terms, okay? This is not my lane, but this is something that I care about. So definitely have protein after a workout. If you guys watch TikTok, you know that trend. It's like, you got 30 minutes. Quite literally, you want to eat protein like as soon as you're done. You can have like your little protein bar, so like when you're going home, like you eat it. I'd have an apple, especially like when I used to do Pilates. You can definitely watch my 100 days of Pilates journey somewhere on my channel. But I'd always take an apple, so that I'd eat it on the way home, and that way my stomach has a little something afterwards, because I get really hungry, and my Pilates class was like 6 in the morning. But then that way I get home, and that way I'm not like trying to grab something sweet, and I can just like cook something real quick, and I'm like, all right, an apple, like it's a little filling. Cool. I also want to note that I had cut out sugar from my diet, and it has actually like really done wonders, more so for my skin and like overall feeling. And I also think me incorporating a lot more protein helped, because like if you don't have enough protein, you crave a lot more sugar. That's something to think about. But can really cut out sugar. So anything that has like excessive added sugar, I don't eat. And it's honestly saved me a lot of money, saved me a lot of time. And like, I have to now choose things that are like 100% good for me. And now, of course, if it says like less than 1 gram of added sugar, I usually let that slide. But if it's like total sugars is 50 grams, but then added sugars is 49, that's insane. Right? And I also don't avoid foods or beverages that naturally have sugar, like cranberry juice. I love cranberry juice, and I drink 100% cranberry juice. Cranberries naturally have a lot of sugar in it, but the brand I buy, I can't remember, whatever, there's no added sugar in it. So all the sugar in it is just from the fruit. That is okay. I think people try to get like to the nitty gritty of it. You don't need to do that. I also eat a lot of vegetables. I was gonna say part vegan. Again, I was vegan before, and then I just recently, a year ago, added fish into my diet. But I eat a lot of veggies like kale and spinach and I like, what's it called, butter lettuce. It's so tasty. Of course, tomatoes and avocados. Like, I have that in my daily diet, and I like switch it around, of course, like different types of meals, but like I rotate like relatively the same kind of veggies when I go out to eat. My meals are mostly veggie based. Like, it's not mostly like I don't want to say carbs, but like rice and bread. Like, rice and bread is good, please have it. Carbs are energy. Like, you need that for your brain to function and not be foggy. So don't think you need to stay away from carbs, but you just need more protein than you need carbs, if that makes sense. So a lot of my diet is like heavy grains, and I'm eating a lot of good food. That plays a major role. If you want to instill confidence and reassurance in yourself while creating your personal constitution, follow my channel of Firmly Active Affirmations, where you'll find affirmations, EFT tapping, guided yoga, and so much more. For soundscapes such as brown noise, rain sounds, and even TV static, to sleep, study, and meditate too, follow my channel of Firmly Sounds. Okay, enough with the food. Talk about the workout. Talk about the workout. Talk about it. Okay, I mean, that's what you're asking. My workout routine is kind of semi-ish complicated, but not. So let's see if we can get through this. I'm most likely going to make a diagram or table of what I do, because it's too much just to talk about it off the dome. But pretty much I have two variations for my cardio and mobilities. I have one where I do I run on a treadmill, and another one where I almost ride or run on an elliptical. And I always do cardio at the end of my workouts, and I lift every single time I go to the gym. So okay, let's stay on track. Okay, so for my mobility days, let's say mobility day 1, I do a mobility and cardio day. That's what I meant to say, mobility and cardio day. I'll do 20 to 30 minutes of mobility, and of course I'll include weights. It depends on my body and what's going on and how strong that I feel. So I typically range from 5 pounds to 10 pounds depending on the workout, the type of moves, my strength, yada yada yada. Cool. After that, I of course do either the treadmill or the elliptical, and I ride those for 40 minutes. For the elliptical, I do like 1 minute like going really fast and 1 minute going a little slow, but I try to make sure to keep my heartbeat up and like stay consistent. On the treadmill, I typically have a 30 incline, 3 speed, and I like walk really fast. Sometimes I have the energy and the spirit to run, and I run. It really depends on my mood, but I always make sure to just get on it. Now, my mobility and cardio days are super important because I am stiff. I am trying to get better with my flexibility, and what's the point of looking strong but then like all your motor skills are like out of whack, right? You don't want to look like you can lift the bus but you can't like reach your back. That's weird, right? So that's why it was super important for me to have a mobility and cardio day. Also, cardio, you know, sheds a little weight off if that's something that you're wanting to do. A little FYI, I am creating a personalized affirmation app. And if you haven't done so already, go to my description box, join our emailing listing if you're interested for when it comes out, and to answer my survey so I understand what your needs are. Thank you. I love you. And let's continue with the rest of the video. Okay, so I have a variation for my arm and back days and my leg and core days. Now, every time I go to the gym, I always do abs right before cardio, and cardio is always the last thing that I do. So that's definitely helping me get abs. But pretty much on my arm and back day, I of course do arms, do some abs, do cardio. So that's arm and back day 1. Then I rest for 2 days. 2 days, boom. Then I do a mobility 1 or 2, right? Then I rest for another 2 days. Then I do leg and core, right? Probably variation 1. Then rest for 2 days, and I do mobility and cardio variation number 2. You see how I rotated from variation 1 to variation 2, and I rotated that around. 1, it keeps my workout interesting. 2, it ensures that I get all my muscle groups when I work out, because trying to get every single muscle during one workout is just simply not enough time. I don't have time to be in the gym for like 3-4 hours. The most time I'm at the gym is 2 hours, and that also includes driving there and back home. My gym isn't too far. So having that variation between my arm and back day, my leg and core day, my mobility and cardio day allows me to hit every single muscle group, but it's of course on different days, but I'm hitting them and I'm staying consistent, and that's why girl is strong and beautiful. Also, another thing to note is that I've also always just been very built. Since I was young, I used to do cheerleading. I did a little bit of basketball. You know, I was always riding my bike. I was always running. I've always been active. So this isn't something where it's like I had to work something off to get it. I wasn't something like it took me a really long time to get to this point. It was fairly easy because my body is so used to being active, because I have been active since I was a wee baby, a wee baby. So also keep that in note. But I will note, last year I was 160 and I brought myself down to 135, 140, and the workout routine that I just told you guys about didn't even exist then. I just started that this year. I walked. Walking is the ultimate workout routine. It's low impact. You can walk while you're talking on the phone. You can walk and be on your phone. You can email, you can text, you can all that stuff while you're walking. The amount of times where I want to call a friend, I just get up and go to my nearest park or walk around my neighborhood and we're chatting for 2-3 hours. Now imagine if I'm just laying in my bed chatting to my friend. I could have been outside. The weather is nice. There's no reason for me to imprison myself to this room. Go for a walk. It helps you. It is going to build your endurance. It's going to help your heart health. It's going to slim you down. Of course, you want to include, you know, lifting. That's super important because you want muscle, because cardio alone just isn't, I want to say isn't sustainable. Weightlifting helps you keep your tone and your weight, and cardio like helps you bring it down, if that makes sense. Again, not a doctor. This isn't my lane, not my major, right? I do love it, but it's not something I know like immense information on, and like you can quote me and I'm an expert. I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert. I repeat, I'm not an expert. Okay, so I just blabbed about my workout routine, and I know it sounds crazy and I know it sounds all over the place because it's just hard for me to explain. Maybe I should have wrote it down. Maybe I should have practiced this before I started recording this, but honestly, whatever. Like, you guys will see my workout routine in the video anyways. I also love YouTube videos. Like, I use a lot of the arm workouts and leg workouts from like YouTubers that I really like, if I don't feel like thinking of my own or like using my own. It really depends on my body, whatever. So definitely utilize other content creators. So in your personal constitution, you want to write down a workout routine that you want to stick to, give a shot, and honestly write your objectives of what you're trying to achieve. For me, I just wanted to get stronger. I wanted to build my flexibility, my mobility. I wanted to have control over my body and not hurt. I wasn't necessarily hurting, but I wanted to feel absolutely amazing. I can't feel like the same way I did when I was 12 years old and I was doing the freak most, but you know, I want to lean towards that. You know, I ain't no grandma. I want to lean towards my youth. So that's like my objective. Is your objective to gain weight? Is your objective to lose weight? Is your objective to tone up? Is like, what is your objective? Write that down. And of course, the workout routine that you believe will help you achieve that. How often you'll stay consistent. I am fairly consistent. I'm very consistent, but one of the reasons why I'm very consistent is because, again, I wrote down my routine and I have it literally on my wall so I can look at it every day and know like, okay, I'm going to the gym today. I rest for 2 days, not just 1 day. So like the days I go throughout the week kind of shift and change, but allowing yourself 2 days of rest allows your muscles to properly recover. And it gives you time to do maybe yoga and stretching and use your massage gun. That's something that I love to do when I'm not at the gym. 2 days of rest, I think, are best, especially if you want to go to the gym and have all the energy that you need to complete your workout. See, like waiting just 1 day isn't enough, because sometimes I'm a little sore and I can't complete a workout because I'm still recovering from the one I did yesterday, right? Or the day before. So 2 days rest is the way to go. I know I'm all over the place. Forgive me. I love you guys. You love me. We love each other. Okay. The next thing I want you guys to do, and this also correlates to our relationship with our body, is to write down why your body is great the way it is now. And the reasons you want to change it isn't because you hate it, but because you love it and you love change, right? I know that sounds like corny, but you cannot hate your body as you're trying to change it, because then there's absolutely no way you'll love it once it looks the way you want it to look. You won't. There's no way. So you want to love your body now, during the process, and after, because regardless, working out is good for your health, and you look great, you're amazing, you're working on you, and that's all that matters. This fosters a very healthy relationship with working out in your body, because people typically give up because quite literally they're hating themselves throughout the process. And you're gonna hate yourself even more when you give up, but then you're giving up because you hate yourself. It's a nasty, nasty, nasty cycle, and we got to stay out of it. So just write reasons why you love yourself, and promise that you won't negatively talk down on yourself, and that you will commit to whatever schedule that you have for yourself, and to make time. That you will make time. It's like, oh, I don't have time to. Yes, you can. If you have time to scroll on your phone, if you have time to watch this video, you got time to go to the gym. You got time to work out. You got time to do an at-home workout. You got time to walk around your neighborhood or at a park. You have time. Do you talk to your mom? Do you talk to your friends? Go for a walk. Talk on the phone on a walk. There's no reason for us to be sitting here. I'm not angry. I'm just passionate. Honestly, I think that's all I have to cover for this video. Again, it's all over the place because I truly, truly, truly want you guys to create your own workout. I was just telling you guys like what I'm doing because fuck it, this is my video. But do your own research, listen to your body, talk to your doctor, write it down, write it down, write it down. That's why we're here. So we have an instruction manual for who we are, what we like, what we do. Okay. I love you guys, and I will see you next time.